people that are really proud to be funding gay tap dancing in North Korea, and normal people that actually have a working brain. Welcome to a brand new video. Today, we are diving into the new DOGE situation. DOGE situation has finally reached a zenith point. Elon Musk sent out a letter threatening to fire anyone that doesn't answer the letter within the day. The CIA is shaking because the CIA thinks half of them are going to be fired. The gay tap dancers in the Taliban are no longer getting funded. The situation is truly dire for everyone around the world. And that's why I am here, guys. That's why I am here. Definitely subscribe for more chaos, because I am not here to be your upcoming breaking news channel. I am the guy that talks about crazy shit that happens in the world, okay? If you don't subscribe, you are missing out on glorious chaos that makes me happy, okay? So, first, I want to show you this very nice clip. This is Javier Milei. He is the president of Argentina. Apparently, he recently promoted a crypto scam. In my opinion, from my perspective, I think he probably did it by accident, because apparently he made no money off of it. I don't think he even knew what he was promoting. That's my incredibly nuanced, high-tech opinion. But from all the other clips, aside from that, I actually really like this guy. I don't know. I've seen some clips about him. He seems like a badass. Bro apparently campaigned for his election holding a chainsaw, which is badass enough for me to completely forgive financial fraud. All right, let's go, baby. No! What the fuck is even going on, dude? What is even happening? What is even happening? Bro, it's like a bunch of nerds get together. Oh my god.
How you doing?
Good, how's it going? Hey.
How are you?
Thanks.
Oh my god. Bro gave him a Doge chainsaw. That's crazy.
What?
What did that say? Make America great again? Oh my god.
Oh, that's cool.
Bro, I'm gonna get copyrighted for this? No way. Alright, so this guy's a chainsaw. He brought him a chainsaw, dude. Oh my god. Oh lord. Bro, the memes are crazy. The memes are absolutely insane. See, you know the funniest thing about like the right side of the force right now? These guys are just vibing. They're having fun. They're doing good things and they're enjoying doing them. This is a crazy take, but you love to see it. You love to see it. I hated that for years, whenever you saw politicians, there were these prune-looking old men behind desks upset about something, frustrated by some sort of nebulous amount of racism that was injected into some random white guy's asshole. It is so nice to actually see people kind of just having a good time and being human. Oh my god, this is insane that he gave him a fucking Doge chainsaw. Bro, is he cutting? He's cutting wasteful spending. He's cutting wasteful spending. Oh my god, he's gonna be the first Space Marine. This guy's gonna be the first fucking Space Marine. This is crazy. That's insane. That's wild. Anyway, dude's been going absolutely bonkers recently. Mr. Musk himself, the guy. Currently, the entire Twitter sphere is freaking out because, the entire Twitter sphere is freaking out because Elon made one of the wildest tweets ever. All right, and everyone is losing their mind and calling Trump a dictator and stuff. Consistent with President Donald Trump's instructions, all federal employees will shortly receive an email requesting to understand what they got done last week. Failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. This is, like, insane, by the way. Like, that's crazy. What the frick? That's crazy. Dude, he just tweets this. He just puts this on Twitter, and he's expecting all the... Oh, my God. That's like a murder. Bro, that's crazy. Holy shit. Apparently, there were different people complaining, and every time people were complaining about this tweet, Elon would respond to them on Twitter saying, "What have you done last week?" And some other politician would bitch about this, and he would just say, "What have you done last week?" Which is like the most like stupid fucking thing ever. But it works. It works. Now, I have an incredibly hot take. I think this is completely valid. If you are a government worker being paid by my tax dollars, you should be able to explain what you did in the last week. I'm just gonna be real. So coming from this guy, the guy paying these fucking politicians to twiddle their thumbs and send money to surprise butt sex in Afghanistan, this is a glorious time for me. Now, the host of Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, went on to CNN. You know CNN. CNN, they don't like anything Elon does because they are 100% ideologically audience captured by the left. They will never have a positive thing to say literally ever again. They brought Kevin O'Leary onto the show. This guy.
Kevin,
This guy, Kevin, the guy from Shark Tank. They brought him on the show to talk to him about Doge, and none of them got what they expected.
optics of this is
No, I think the issue is they're not whacking enough.
They're not whacking enough, dog. How does CNN keep losing? How do they keep They just got raped on live television. That's what just happened, in case you couldn't figure that out.
There's this concept in private equity when you get a bankrupt company and you go in there, you cut 20% more than your initial read. And then you find, like a pool of mercury, the organization gels back together again. Always cut deeper, harder when there's fat and waste. The FAA, it's not the people. The code is cobalt. It's from the 60s. It needs CapEx put into it for the technology to be upgraded to make it safer. Fat like a chicken. All of these agencies are like big fat chickens dripping over barbecues of fat. This is the best barbecue I've ever seen, but I don't think it's happening fast enough. They're not cutting enough. Keep slashing, keep hacking while you have a 24-month before the midterms. Cut. More cutting. Believe me, it's going to work out just great. Everybody should be happy
with the
about
nuclear
this.
codes.
They are, look how upset they are. They brought on this guy, this billionaire or whatever from Shark Tank. They expected him to be on their side. And he's like, yo, this is how businesses work. You cut shit that's useless. That's like the most basic thing of all time. He just raped a full panel of CNN newscasters on live television, and they all want to cry. Even Hamas Piker wouldn't deny this rape.
Cut them too.
Cut everything.
Yes!
Because if you don't see what they're doing and they can't show you.
Why can't they explain what they're doing? Bro, he's murdering them. This is crazy. You mean like cut the nuclear codes? Yeah, good job, CNN lady.
That they're adding value, you whack.
But it's
You whack! If it's not clear, whack! Get it out of here! Murder them! Why are you keeping them around?
They're even asking people to show us what you're doing. Again,
Yeah, they're so upset at this one fucking tweet that Elon made where he says, show me what you've done. Bro, every employee on the planet needs to prove that they worked in the last week. Why should the people working for the government taking my money, why should they not be able to prove what they've done in the last week? Are we all like collectively sitting on smoking coke and shit? What is going on? This is crazy. This is insane. That's why I say every time I see people argue against the Elon Musk position and against Doge and what Doge is doing, they are all retards. Every single one of them. Oh, he's not elected, so therefore... Bro, why are we spending $500 billion funding surprise butt sex in Afghanistan? Like, this isn't, like, supposed to be... This isn't just, like, common sense. This is the most basic shit in the universe. Your tax money was funding Hamas terrorist tunnels in Gaza. Like, what are you doing, bro?
this was a story Friday, and literally Elon said, oops, we gotta rehire them because nobody knows how to do what these...
That's another thing that they think is like always such a kill move. He fired some people that he also rehired. They think Nux Spicy today. Listen, I'm unfortunately I'm a little under the weather. Hopefully it's not a bad one. You know me, whenever I'm sick, I get meaner. It's not my fault, all right? It's God obviously wanted me meaner today. That's why he got me sick.
These people know how to do.
Yeah, then you think, okay, gets it wrong once in a while, big deal.
Yeah, big deal. You fire, mistakes happen, you rehire. Easy. Oh my God. It's like he's the only guy that's ever ran a business on this fucking panel. He's literally the only guy on this entire panel that's ever run a business. So he knows the most obvious basic bitch shit that if your employees can't actually show you what they've done, then get rid of them. Trim the fat off that chicken. Nux is going all in on decimating retards on Twitter today. Listen, their decimation is collateral damage. I am here to provide enjoyment. They might take an L on the way.
I agree with that.
Don't fault God, take responsibility. God controls everything, okay? That includes me getting sick. Now, it is my responsibility to be a good man despite being sick, which is sort of my fault. But God did it too. It was a team effort here.
It's okay. I actually think it's okay if they run into a stumble here or there, because
even this dude is like, yeah, duh.
the project is so massive. The need to cut is so massive. The government is so massive.
They're so frustrated. They can't even hear this.
It's inconceivable that you wouldn't make a mistake here or there. But I think that's acceptable if the greater goal is achieved, which is a smaller government, more efficient government.
Even if someone dies, or even if someone...
What the fuck? People die! I'm sorry! People die, and people give away too much money. all right? I'm not trying to sound callous and shit here, all right? This might sound a little bit callous and shit here. Even if people die, did anyone die? You have any evidence of people dying? What, maybe someone in Malaysia, because USAID is going to stop sending billions of dollars from millions of Americans to absolute bullshit. One of those dollars could have saved someone across the world. Is that supposed to be a legitimate reason to steal billions of dollars from Americans? Like, lady, why aren't you giving your life savings to gay couples in Somalia? Why? You're literally killing people. I fucking hate these people so much. It's like no brain cells left to argue, so they have to emotionally manipulate.
Alleging that someone has died from this?
I don't.
Oh! You just asked her, did someone die?
We don't know. I'm talking.
We don't know if someone died. We're not funding Iraqi Sesame Street anymore. What about all the condoms that we're sending to Mozambique?
But when the rubber meets the road, I'm talking about.
See what you did there with the rubber? Because we're sending $50 million of condoms to Gaza?
For example, Kansas City, 30,000 government employees might be laid off.
Yeah, good riddance. If they don't do their job, fire them. This is like the most unbelievable. This is CNN, okay? This is the news. This is the fucking news. Okay, so yeah, people get fired and they should get a job at a McDonald's where they actually do something for a living instead of waste my money. This is insane.
Will destroy the economy of Kansas City. That's okay.
Why?
What are you talking about? Elon Musk is firing people that aren't working, and she's upset that it's destroying the economy in Kansas City. Actual retards.
Because I'm reading what the individuals from Kansas City have been saying, that they're very concerned.
What do you think they're going to say when
They're fired! Of course they're unhappy! Oh, fuck. It's like, imagine I had an employee that doesn't do any work, and I fire him, and that employee goes on Twitter is like, he is literally ruining my life by firing me for not working. Well, fuck you, it's your problem.
going to get whacked?
Of course they're going to say that, but my point is, do we think that's smart?
Does
to
the-
live in America
Yes!
and just go under?
How many?
Let an American city go under? What does that even mean? If you refuse to work, it's your problem. Like, this is mind-boggling. Watching these people actually dance in circles over this is incredible.
American cities need a massively oversized federal government to stay afloat. I mean, isn't that says more about the city than the government?
But when the presidents are measuring themselves by how many people they put out of work instead of how many people they get jobs for.
This is fucking retarded. Giving people jobs that just take money from other people is not a success. Am I the only one that thinks like these people are actually completely fucking retarded? My tax money going to random asshole that doesn't work in the government is not successfully giving that guy a job. That's stealing my fucking money.
Too soon.
Yeah,
Not
this is
too
crazy.
soon.
This is
Because
absolutely
the government
and
only
if
ever
they're
gets
big
bigger,
fat
never
chickens,
smaller.
hopefully they lay some eggs and maybe then we can afford it.
This strikes me as
They're still on. We can't afford eggs. They don't stop.
it was done just for the sake of doing, and I think it was.
But this is like the classic like far left like borderline socialist mentality where it's like if you have 3 people in a room and 2 people vote that the third person should give them all their money. Now do they legally have to give them all their money?
a tone-deaf move. It wasn't a big enough cut to do anything. It was a completely tone-deaf move. I mean, I find people are always interested in efficiency as long as it doesn't affect them. And it's strange to me that we got enough people to go and ride around the racetrack behind the presidential limousine and such, and to guard 3 residences, and we're never cutting people from there. But to come now and make sort of a tone-deaf move to
Tone-deaf
is again, this is an image thing, and they want to be seen as doing something.
That's crazy. A tone-deaf move. Yeah, it's so tone-deaf that they're firing people that aren't working. I love how I always have people in my chat. I always have people saying, "I guess fraud is just things you don't like." I guess. Yeah, no, that's not what anyone is saying. But that's like the Destiny talking point. So I guess that's pretty cool. Hell yeah. I've already covered that. I'm not going to respond to that every single time because it's retarded. Fraud is things you don't like, I guess. I guess because you don't like it. Yeah, no, that's not why. It's because you got these people that are making a fucking insane amount of money off of these deals. All right, you got 200 millionaires in the fucking government that are on $200,000 a year salary. And yes, if it's not confirmed and people don't know where this money is going, it's either fraud or it's waste or it's abuse. All bad, should be cut 100%. And unfortunately, the talking points don't work every time. DOGE has them desperately pleading. We are now entering a new stage. A stage of people realizing that protesting against Elon Musk, that doesn't work. Yeah, the protests aren't actually gonna help. The protests, they're not gonna help even at all a little bit. We're on to the next stage. They are now begging. We have gone from protesting to begging. We are evolving. This is the kind of chaos we like to see on this channel, goddammit. So recently, DOGE is claiming that they're going to be giving $5,000 to every American citizen, which is an objectively good thing that literally everyone on the planet should agree with, especially people on the left. And here we go, baby. I'm ready, dude. What's next after begging? Crying? I think after begging is firing, and then maybe imprisoning.
As distributing $5,000 checks per citizen trends, aka the DOGE dividend. News outlets are doubtful this will actually occur, while others,
of course, dude. Which news outlets are skeptical? Oh, all the left-wing news outlets that want to paint Trump as a villain every time they talk about him. That's cool.
are telling their readers this could reignite inflation. And Democrat Congresswomen straight up tell you, you don't want that $5,000.
There's no way. There's no way. No, 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 bro. Democratic Congresswomen are really saying you don't want that 5K? Bro, what is this, the DEI Congresswoman? I know that came out racist, but if someone's gonna actually have a retarded take like that, maybe it's true.
President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from DOGE back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID that was done by Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us because they already know that there's just no money for that.
And this is just...
What the fuck? That is the worst thing I've ever heard. I love how I have people in chat ask me, is this true? Guys, stop asking me to fact check everything that goes against your narrative. The lady literally said that on broadcast television. What do you mean, is it true? We saw it together. It wasn't AI.
Just revisionist history. During the lockdowns, Donald Trump told the Democrats, if you just give me a bill that does nothing but put checks in Americans' pockets, he'll sign it immediately. But they kept playing games trying to fund their pet projects, getting their slice of the stimulus money first.
God.
And sadly, that's eventually what happened. But these DOGE stimulus checks wouldn't have any room for theft, so by default, the Democrats are against them.
It's very suspicious that everything that somehow these corrupt politicians can't literally schmorkle money out of, right? There they are, just schmorkling money out of everything that's possible. Look, they spent $3 million on a gas station in Afghanistan that didn't have a single car ever fill up gas there. Where the fuck do you think that $3 million went? And do you think perhaps it went to these already rich politicians making money off the American taxpayer dollar? I think personally, yes. I think it is fraud. And I think at some point we're going to have evidence for all that fraud. And I'm very excited to see evidence for all that fraud in the future. Now, that all said and done. That all said and done. That all said and done. It's very suspicious that somehow these Democratic Congress people always seem to be pretty against the shit that they can't make money off of. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe it's a coincidence.
We had a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding...
Oh my fucking God, stop. Getting rid of scientists. Bro, they're literally firing useless people. They're firing people that are not contributing to help America in any way. That's the people they're firing. You smell of Ebola yourself, lady.
That we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're...
What do you mean don't want to rely on experts? Literally no one ever said this. Fear-mongering bitch. Honestly, it's disgusting. Oh my God, it's actually despicable. And this is the thing. This is on ABC News. So all the you know, random audience captured Democrat people that are only going to watch this video on the news, you know what they think? They think that Donald Trump is firing scientists because they don't want to follow science anymore. That's what they believe. This is fear-mongering, and it's despicable, and it should be called out and humiliated and publicly shamed. I am bringing back public shaming day by day. It's what we do here. We shame all the people we can.
They're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country.
No one says they don't want to deal with vaccines and medicines in this country. You're a liar. You're a lying bitch. A despicably lying bitch. And I am publicly shaming you now, not because I don't like any of the characteristics about you. I am making fun of you because you are a liar. No one ever said they're banning vaccines. The only thing that they wanted to do was research like COVID-type vaccines a little better and actually release a transparent list of side effects and shit before actually pushing a mandate onto the people. That's what they wanted to do. What are you talking about? They never wanted to ban the polio vaccine. They never wanted to ban the measles vaccine. They never wanted to ban the hepatitis vaccine. They never wanted to ban the optional flu vaccines. None of that was ever under any sort of subject to banning. She is sitting here fear-mongering, talking to people that are gonna believe her, because why wouldn't you believe her? If you're watching ABC News, obviously you're gonna believe the shit that they're gonna be saying. She is sitting here, she is looking at you in the eye. Well, one of her eyes is looking at one of your eyes, and one of her eyes is kind of looking a little bit to the left. So it's not like direct eye contact, like completely, but like one eye, it's single eye contact, and she is looking at you and she is lying to you. And she is literally fear-mongering you into thinking that the government is taking your vaccines and all your children are gonna die of fucking syphilis, okay? That is the shit that she is trying to push on people. And it's despicable, it's heinous, it's awful, and it's less honest than any lie Trump has ever told, aside from maybe the Zelenskyy 4% approval rating in Ukraine. But anyway, aside from that, aside from the dogs eating the dogs and eating the cats, you know, aside from that one, yeah, it's up there.
Then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics.
Okay, I feel bad that I insulted her eyes. She has beautiful blue eyes. One eye blue this way, one eye blue that way, but they're beautiful.
Because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
Rich
What? I don't know what $5,000 will do for you? Tell that to the homeless guy that's dying of hunger on the fucking street of LA. She's a Democrat congresswoman. She is the one for the lower class. $5,000 could be life-changing for people. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is the most disconnected from reality shit of all time. And she's saying all this because Trump bad? That's it? Trump bad? So that's it? The most out-of-touch shit in the universe? Holy crap.
Giving out money, and honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
That might be the most wild statement I've ever seen. All right, I'm just doing some research here. Just want to get you the math. If you took $5,000 and put them in the stock market, statistically, after 30 years, that $5,000 would be $87,000. Statistically, based on the stock market's ups and downs over the last however many years. Statistically, in 30 years, $5,000 could turn into $87,000. All right? You don't think that this could help anyone? Like, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that these elitist bitches are gonna sit here and fearmonger and twist you, and because they're living a great life and they just want to vilify Trump, and they'll say the most unbelievable, despicable shit of all time. Jew argument? Yeah, well, it's a good argument.
Politicians telling viewers, I don't know what $5,000 would do for you, just shows how detached from reality these Democrats really are. As I remember working hourly, like most Americans do, and $5,000 is literally a life-changing amount of money. But what makes her brand of limousine liberalism even worse is she can't even shoot down the idea of DOGE rebate checks without also justifying the pandemic stimulus checks, and the possibility that we might have another one, which of course makes it so they can justify it again. So then she...
Dude, and also the fear-mongering that there's another pandemic coming, even though there's actually zero evidence that there's another pandemic coming. Dude, it doesn't make anyone comfortable to hear that shit. No one is comfortable about that. That definitely implies that there was something nefarious going on with the original COVID.
He frames this as, those DOGE cuts are directly impacting these scientists and...
Get the fuck out of here, DOGE cuts impacting scientists. Like, it's so bad faith, it's unbelievable.
Experts.
Fear-mongering the bird flu pandemic, yeah. No one wants eggs to be more expensive than rich Democrats in Congress.
That did such a good job last time. As if she doesn't remember literally everything the experts told us wasn't immediately reversed. Where at best they admitted they just made it up, and at worst they were caught covering it up. But once you get past...
Yeah, there was this entire bird flu controversy where apparently they claimed there was a bird flu and they got farmers to kill like tens of thousands of their chickens, and then it turns out that the bird flu was kind of a fraud. It was kind of fake, and you know, egg prices went up because, you know, farmers kill tens of thousands of their chickens. That's unbelievable. And then of course the next obvious strategy is blaming Trump. Obviously, why wouldn't you immediately blame Trump? I think that's the move. You tell farmers to kill their chickens, then you blame Trump for egg prices. That's the strategy, guys. I mean, you just look this shit up. Another scam exposed. American chicken farmer says birds are not dying from bird flu like we're being told. Just like with COVID, they're counting all bird deaths as bird flu. Every time a bird dies, they say it's bird flu. I'm telling you, they're bullshitting you. I am a chicken farmer, and they're bullshitting you about the reasons why your eggs are expensive.
I'm a chicken farmer, and they are bullshitting you about the reasons why your eggs are so expensive. Listen, when you consider the fact that we consume over 9 billion chickens a year and just in meat alone, there's over, in 2023, we had over 382 million egg-laying hens in this country alone, and so far we've only lost 300 million birds worldwide. It doesn't make sense. They say the same shit every year. I know it because I'm a chicken farmer. I see the same alerts, and I see the same opportunities to jack up prices, and yet I choose not to. Listen, when you look at these large facilities, a lot of these birds aren't dying of bird flu. They are dying of neglect. They don't give the vegan vitamins, oregano's, all the supplements they are supposed to be getting. They're getting in these mega facilities, and these birds are dying of disease and neglect. Every time a bird dies, they say bird flu. I'm telling you, they're bullshitting you.
And look, listen, that's just one guy's testimony. But there's another interesting question. Why is it that bird flu only affects the U.S. egg prices? Have you ever considered that? NBC News recently released, USDA says it accidentally fired officials working on bird flu and is trying to rehire them. What do you mean, working on bird flu? What does that mean, working on bird flu? People are even making memes about this. Good luck with the price of eggs. 100 million chickens killed 2024. Like, dude, again, I'm not saying there is a bird flu, there isn't a bird flu. I don't know. There's so much obvious misinformation flying around. Like an unbelievable amount of misinformation flying out. All right, I don't know what to say. All I know is that politicians are getting richer off bird flu. That's kind of what it sounds like. Of course, PETA is not going to say anything about this, mostly because PETA stands for people eating tasty animals. But this is crazy. This is crazy. And then, you know, egg prices go up, you blame Trump, you threaten another vaccine. It's like there's a fucking cycle. It's crazy. The shadow government just wants the gears to keep turning. It's wild.
Past all those inconvenient facts, then she may have a point about the $5,000 checks being bad. As former Republican Congressman Ron Paul explains, there could be drawbacks.
The proposal is that Trump and Musk says that we're saving so much money, we ought to give it back to the people, which sounds very good. So just cut taxes. There's a lot to be heard, but I don't see this as enhancing what has been already contributed to us, and that is exposure, audit, how horrible this is. And the people are really upset about this, and it represents a system of bankruptcy. But I don't see this emphasizing, you know, that particular point. And actually, if you're going to save umpteen billions of dollars on spending, the budget, well, the spending has to go down, the interest rates have to go down, payment, and then the deficit and the debt that exists has to go down. And that's a big undertaking. I don't see how this will add to it, but there's the two guys working on this are a lot richer than we are.
I remember back during COVID when we had the stimulus checks that they were sending out. Now, Thomas Massey, good friend of ours, board member of our Ron Paul Institute, he made, and I don't have it in front of me, I wish I had cut it, but I didn't, but he made a great calculation about how this quote unquote stimulus money that you're gonna get is actually gonna cost you more than you'll have in your pocket to spend through inflation, through special interest, getting more than you're getting, and all these number of things. So, and it actually played out exactly like he said, and I don't have it in front of me, but he made that good point. My guess is that he will be similarly skeptical about this money.
Well, that's a good point, because let's say they get their way and next week they're going to start it. They don't have money in the bank. So if they're going to live up to their promises, and they have to start sending these checks out, they have to print the money, which invites more inflation. And the prices go up, and people say, well, I'm not any better off.
You'll get your 5,000, but then eggs will quadruple.
And it's a very valid point.
It is a valid point. There definitely is more things that you need to look into in regards to just giving people $5,000 and how it'll affect the economy. Obviously, somehow cutting taxes, I think, would be definitely more beneficial for people as a whole. Like, these are all definitely real things. A tax refund would be really cool if they would do it somehow like that. Again, I don't know. Obviously, you're gonna get fucking people that know a lot more about finance and the economy and shit to actually make these decisions. But it is definitely a cool idea to float by that you're giving Americans more money. That, like, dude, the craziest thing is, and this is like the absolute most mind-blowing thing ever, and you literally see this every single time on the news, all right? Why does CNN support $7,000 a month for illegal aliens, but opposes $5,000 DOGE dividend for Americans? Giving $7K to illegal aliens is gonna fuck the economy the same way giving $5K to actual citizens will.
Who better to answer some of these questions than James Fishback, the
And apparently he cuts him off in the middle of the interview because he's so furious.
CEO of the originator of the DOGE dividend. James, thank you for being here. How did this all come to pass?
Well, good morning, Michael. To tell you the truth, it came to me in a dream. I woke up.
No! Wait, is he one of Elon Musk's wizards? Is he one of the Musketeers?
Of research at Azoria, we met at Capitol Grill. We fleshed this thing out in 2 hours, and I'm honored that the president has endorsed it. This is a real plan to send the savings that DOGE generates over the next couple of years right back into the pockets of hardworking Americans all across this country. They deserve it. It was their money in the first place, and they need a break.
Makes sense to me.
Okay, I'm all for ridding the government of waste, fraud, and abuse.
Oh.
But at some level, isn't it all illusory? In other words, if there's a quote-unquote savings made by Elon Musk and DOGE, we're still $36 trillion in debt.
That's retarded. What the fuck are you talking about? So should they not ever pay off the debt because they're in debt? What?
So there's no pie to cut up. There's no slice of the pizza that I can hand back to you unless we continue to borrow those funds.
Our plan's really simple. Over the next couple of years, DOGE will save a set amount of money. We're going to take 20% of that and put it right back in the hands of taxpayers. The other 80, as President Trump has pointed out, will go back to paying down the debt and narrowing the deficit. Here's the truth, Michael. For every $5 that DOGE saves, as we believe calculated by the Congressional Budget Office, when this whole project is said and done next summer, for every $5, $1 goes back to the pockets of American taxpayers. Here's why. They sent their money to D.C. to be spent in America, not to be abused, not to be disrespected, and not to be defrauded. That $20 million to Iraqi Sesame Street, that money sent for a transgender opera in Colombia, all at the same time, Michael, that we have roads and bridges crumbling. We're losing 900 Americans every day to deaths of despair, alcoholism, and suicide. 8 out of 10 black American fourth graders are not even reading at grade level. This is pathetic. The Americans sent their money to be spent in America. They were defrauded. They were lied to. They now deserve restitution. And the second point that President Trump, just one sec, Michael. The second point that President Trump brought up in Air Force One is that these DOGE will incentivize Americans to report waste, fraud, and abuse in their own community. Why? Why? Because the more that DOGE saves,
the more they make back. And it actively and literally will every single time incentivize people to make things better for the country as a whole.
The bigger their DOGE dividend will be. Remember, in economics...
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome. We're giving every American...
I'm going to get to the economics. Come on, I gave you a chance for a great sound bite. You got and those soft power exercises make for great sound bites, but when you drill down, for example, on Sesame Street in Iraq, they often make sense. Joseph...
This patronizing CNN motherfucker. What a retard. What is going... I didn't think of it that way. True. Well, when you drill down on gay Sesame Street in Iraq, maybe it makes sense. Look at his face. He realizes he's talking to a fucking Muppet right now.
From Harvard, who gets credited with the coinage of the word soft power. You know, you'd rather spend on that than bullets. But wait. You want to talk about
there was
more
than that than bullets? What are you talking about?
Terrorist attack in Iraq last month that killed 40 people. It's clearly not working. Soft power.
He's completely right. He's so right. Like, people have no idea the level of terrorist attacks that go on in these countries, because everyone always talks about, you know, Israel and stuff. But people do not realize the insanity that goes on in the Middle East, like, all the time. And funding LGBT representation and fucking gender dance theory, like, none of that shit matters.
So maybe if there are terrorists, we need to kill the terrorists. We don't need to fund.
He's right. He's right. He's literally right. Bro, did you know that the #1 guy of Hezbollah, who is dead now, may he remain dead like a dog and a beautiful dog like he is, Hassan Nasrallah, he caused 500,000 deaths in Syria. All right, that motherfucker did not need gay Sesame Street. They needed to put that guy in the ground a long time ago. Shout out to Israel for getting the job done.
Listen to me. Maybe the terrorist would have been better off watching Big Bird than learning in a madrasa.
Is he retarded? Is CNN fighting for gay Sesame Street in Iraq? Iraq, they just brought back child marriage for 9-year-olds. And he's saying that gay Sesame Street is working? I'm actually flabbergasted right now. I don't even know what to say. Like, is this actually the level of brain rot that is going on? Dude, I'm just showing this to you for perspective, okay? This happened January. This happened 1 month ago. Iraq passes a law lowering the legal age of marriage for girls from 18 to 9. The new personal status law makes it possible for Shia religious authorities and the Jafari School of Islamic Law to conduct marriages to girls as young as 9. This happened in Iraq a month ago. No, I don't think funding gay Sesame Street is stopping this shit. What is even going on?
Let me make my point. Put on the screen from the Peterson Foundation. This is where the rubber meets the road. We are $36 trillion in debt. I don't know if you can see that, but that's 106,121 for every single person in America.
All right.
So if Elon Musk is successful in saving us money from waste, fraud, and abuse,
right.
And by the way, James, I hope that he is. I don't like the approach, but I like the fact that
I don't like the approach he has to say to his CNN brain rot fan base.
Something's being done. There is no money in the till. We owe $36 trillion. We owe $106,000 each. So whatever the savings ought to be, it's not like President Trump's doing us a favor by giving us 20%. Everything ought to go to the debt because
they are so mad that money might go back to the taxpayers. I'm shocked. What is going on? Listen. The country owes money. True. They should work on this debt. True. Biden did terrible for this debt. True. Trump is the first president that actually lowered the amount of debt in 2016. True. Trump is planning on lowering the debt now in 2024, 2025. Also true. Why is he so upset that they might pay off the debt 20% slower, but also make the American people more happy? Why is he so terrified about that? Doesn't want to give Trump a W? He's upset that his hand isn't in the cookie jar? I'm shocked.
The Peterson people say by 2050, 50% of all revenue is going to go to satisfying interest on the debt. We should be paying the debt. Your response?
My response is this. We should be paying the debt, which is why the DOGE dividend incentivizes every American to call out waste, fraud, and abuse, to lower the budget, to narrow the deficit, and to bring down the debt. Where was this emergency?
Oh boy, he's gonna kill him. I sense it. I sense it in the wind. I feel it in the air.
Over the debt when we sent $350 billion to Ukraine.
Everyone's worried about the debt now that the American people might get money. Now, the American people getting money? Well, what about the debt? Ooh, but you weren't worried about the debt when we funded gay Sesame Street.
To be wasted. Where was this emergency, Michael, on CNN when you guys were advocating $7,000 to migrants in Chicago?
Bro, they were advocating money to go to migrants, but they're furious, absolutely furious. That money might be going to the average American guy. This is like the losing laugh. When someone laughs like this, they lost the argument.
$7,000 a month per migrant, and now we want to spend $5,000 one time from President Trump to hardworking Americans. The migrants didn't deserve $7,000 a month. Hardworking Americans deserve a $5,000 check with President Trump's name on it. So enough with the double standard. Ukraine didn't deserve $350 billion.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. This is Madoff-like.
What? What is going on? Every time he says something, it's insane. Madoff ran a giant scam. How is this comparable?
This is a Ponzi scheme.
How is this a Ponzi scheme?
No, Ukraine was a Ponzi scheme. The migrant funding was a Ponzi scheme. Hardworking Americans deserve a break.
James,
it was their money. It was their money.
James, give me a chance to speak. Theoretically, it's my program. We don't have the money.
Theoretically, bro got absolutely fucking destroyed on his own program.
Is what I'm trying to tell you. It's a Ponzi.
So we didn't have the money
made-off
for Ukraine, right? We didn't have the money for Ukraine. $350 billion.
I never do this. I don't want to be that guy. And do I have to silence your microphone so that I can respond to what you said? Because there's so much fallacy in what you just offered.
Please go ahead and refute it.
I have a very simple premise here. We're $36 trillion in debt. It's a fraud. As much as I want to see us
What's a fraud?
Waste, fraud, and abuse, it is an absolute fraud to say to the American people, because of what Musk is doing, we have $5 grand to give each of you. The only way we have $5 grand is if we're borrowing it, because we're that far in debt. I'm trying to meet you halfway.
This is no meeting anyone halfway. This is the most insane thing I've ever heard. His argument makes absolutely no sense. He's upset that Americans might be happy because he wants them to be reminded daily that America owes money. Because America owes money, he doesn't want Americans to be happy. He doesn't mind sending the money to illegal immigrants. He doesn't mind sending the money to Ukraine or anywhere else in the world, as long as it doesn't go to Americans, because America owes money. This is the clown take of clown takes. Then maybe everyone should be taxed to 100%. Maybe everyone's income should go 100% to funding the actual fucking debt that America owes. Why should Americans even make money? Let's just bring in communism. Am I right, guys? Like, this is the most unbelievable brain dead take I've ever heard.
Which is simply to say, what a good thing that finally we're going to look at waste, fraud, and abuse.
He just doesn't want the Americans to be happy with Trump. He is literally fighting his ass off to make sure that American people won't be happy with something Trump did.
Albeit it shouldn't be in this haphazard fashion, but let's at least be honest with the American people that whatever we quote-unquote save, we already owe. Now I'm going to give you 30 seconds to respond, and then I'm going to say see you later. Go ahead.
Michael, let me say this. We're fellow Americans. We care about this issue, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to come on this program, but I got to speak truth here. At the end of the day, we have got to send the money back that is saved, just 20% of it. The other 80% goes down to paying the national debt and narrowing the deficit. To your point, yes, there has been a fraud against the American people, the Green New Scam, Ukraine, migrant crisis. Their taxpayer dollars were sent abroad, were not sent at home, were not spent in America, not on healthcare, not on education. That ends with President Trump's leadership today. He is delivering on his promise of major government reform, Michael. The DOGE dividend plan is bold, and Americans support it.
All right, I'm calling time on all of that. I appreciate you here. I think we've each, I hope, made our respective points. Thank you.
Oh my God, what a dude, I'm just saying, the blue whale's vagina is now the second biggest pussy in the world. He ate him alive. He fucking ate him alive. He chewed his bones and spit them out. Bro, I'm very excited for Elon Musk renaming. Elon Musk proposes FAFO as the enforcement arm of DOGE, the Federal Agency of Financial Oversight. Listen, bro, this is insane. Actually insane. That's the crazy thing. Every time you hear the arguments against DOGE, they're actually retarded. I have not heard a single, even remotely good argument against DOGE.
The stimulus checks last time caused rampant levels of inflation. Now those checks were tied to billions of dollars of other spending that caused the majority of said inflation, but I too am not a fan of cutting checks for the sole purpose of making the citizens happy in the short term, but much worse off in the long term. So it almost seems like something that might just be a bargaining chip. All these DOGE rebate checks are just a concept being passed around and not denied.
Nothing's official yet.
But I haven't really seen any solid statements from Trump saying, this amount of money is going to you on this date. So it may just be a case of Trump pitching something popular that the people will love, and the Democrats by default have to say it's a bad idea because basically that's their entire platform now.
Dude, honestly, that is such a fucking good idea. Oh my God. Trump announcing something just wildly popular just because it's easy bait for the Democrats to just go ree, and shut it down. Just so Trump looks like a good guy and the Democrats are the assholes that are refusing to send money to the American people. Bro, that's fucking crazy. If that's the big brain plan going on here, that is dirty, bro. That is dirty. Holy shit, bro is the best negotiator of all time. Bro wrote The Art of the Deal.
Donald Trump doesn't need to actually start cutting checks, but he can still cash.
He just needs to say shit. Everyone loses their mind on the most unbelievably unpopular opinion of all time, like Maine with banning trans athletes in women's sports.
A political win, as the Democrats are still crying over DOGE.
Why won't Elon show us the savings from DOGE? What is he hiding?
Saying Elon is hiding their findings, when in actuality, they are entirely transparent with all their findings at doge.gov.
It's crazy, and the funny thing is, this guy, he got 3 million views on this fucking tweet, and he's literally just lying.
Democrats are still crying over DOGE, saying Elon is hiding their findings, when in actuality, they are entirely transparent with all their findings at doge.gov, where it just reposts their tweets, which are very detailed on their findings, as Elon is learning from the best, actually taking up a chainsaw from Argentina's president, Javier Milei.
Oh my god. That's crazy, dude.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
The chainsaw for bureaucracy. My fucking god. Look at these guys.
As the government wastes their finding is absolutely insane.
And the record topper, there is one person on Social Security who's
360 years old.
360 years old.
Yeah. I think he's dead, actually.
Which is approximately 110 years older than our country.
Oh my fucking god.
And anybody that hears that should immediately apologize to Elon and Trump, as this type of error shouldn't be possible, or someone is cashing checks that definitely shouldn't, or someone simply messed up on their paperwork and they're—
Either someone messed up on their paperwork and thousands of dollars are being flushed down the toilet, or someone is maliciously stealing money, in which case it's fraud. Regardless, thank fucking God. You got people like my guy over there with the chainsaw looking into this shit.
They're not actually 306.
Bro, Elon Musk's gonna go to Argentina, give him a flamethrower. I'm telling you. Calling it right now. He gave him a chainsaw, he's gonna go there, he's gonna give him a flamethrower. Give them a couple of years, they're gonna have a full-ass operational Space Marine suit.
60 years old. Either scenario is something we should have detected so we can protect the taxpayer from fraud. But the idea that certain politicians want to look the other way for no other reason than Orange Man bad shows you that they too are likely on the take, as Ron Paul's Senator Rand Paul has shocking discovery.
Oh shit, I didn't see this. I get so excited whenever I see corruption everywhere. It just makes me happy, because we all knew it was there. We're finally being justified, god damn it.
$4.8 million spent in Ukraine for social media influencers.
And we're right back into depression. Why wasn't I paid $4.8 billion? Huh?
While you're at it, we spent, not we, but the people who vote for this, I've voted against all of this, but the members of the Senate who voted for this spent several $100,000 sending designers in Ukraine to the fashion show in Paris.
So let me get this straight. Billions of dollars were being spent on artificially inflating the popularity of Ukraine in the most superficial ways possible, so that the American people would be cool with spending money on Ukraine. So let me get this straight. We're spending money, funding propaganda to make us like Ukraine better, to convince Americans that it's not bad when they fund Ukraine. They're paying Ukraine to pay Ukraine. What is happening?
It goes on and on.
And it sounds insane.
And of course we have people in chat saying, according to this dude. No, it's true. I saw the fucking DOGE shit. It is true. This was said in Congress. Dude, I love how people see something that they don't like and they're just like, oh, no proof, misinformation.
But actually makes sense when you remember their president was taking photos for Vogue magazine while his people were at war.
Weird, huh? Weird. Sussy-wussy, for real, for real.
I think even the Democrats that are pro-war, that want to send every US tax dollar available to fight the war in Eastern Europe to save democracy in a country that canceled their elections. But even those deep blue liberals would likely be against funding social media influencers and fashion show appearances, and they wouldn't know where that money was going without auditing. But again, since auditing budgets has now become a Donald Trump initiative, they are now forced to be against transparency.
It's true. It's true. Everything Trump says, you have to say, no, Trump bad, no, Trump bad, every single time. Literally every single time. So even when Trump is like, all right, we should be transparent, and everyone's like, no, no transparency.
Heinously ignoring DOGE's transparency and crying over their willful ignorance. As I imagine everybody watching this channel is against wasting our money on this nonsense, but some of us don't think those savings should just be sent to the people. They should remain as savings. And if these savings aren't going to be turned into checks, what should we do with the additional $1 trillion remaining? We may possibly just stop collecting them.
President Trump has spoken about replacing income tax with tariff revenue, especially with all this waste, fraud, and abuse that we're seeing. Is that a possibility?
Absolutely. And in fact, if you think about the China tariff revenue that we're estimating is coming in from the 10% that we just added, plus the de minimis thing, that it's between $500 billion and $1 trillion over 10 years is our estimate. And that's something that is outside of the reductions that markets are seeing through the negotiations up on the Hill. And so we expect that the tariff revenue is actually going to make it much easier for Republicans to pass a bill, and that was the president's plan all along.
As the IRS has already begun mass firings.
Ooh, love to see it. Ooh, the villains are getting fired. Ooh, this is very nice. We love that. We love that.
And getting rid of income tax is infinitely better than a one-time payment of $5,000. As one, over time, each citizen is going to receive much more than a single $5K check. But two, it finally ends this relationship where the government acts like the citizen's pimp. Slick talking the people into letting him hold all the money and redistribute it amongst us when we can prove a valid enough reason to get it back. And this analogy can just keep going, but I want to keep this PG. So in other words, I want the politicians to stop screwing us. But if you—
That would be really nice. I too wait for a day where the politicians stop screwing us. Unfortunately, it really doesn't seem like that's ever gonna happen. For as long as there are politicians, there will be someone getting screwed. But I do have to say, it's interesting. It's interesting. Every USA funding is on usaspending.gov. It's literally all public. That's why whenever people say, but Nux, proof, it's literally all public. It is the most transparent government shit in the history of time. It is all public. Every single number is public. And no one has refuted this shit. Literally. And then people lose their mind about everything. Whatever.
Appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality. Hopefully I've earned your subscription.
Yeah,
then
that was a good video. Dude, what a crazy day. Dude, CNN getting absolutely cum dumpstered every single time. We love that. Love that. Hell yeah, dude. And like, here's the thing. Like, look how insane this is. And this is old news, by the way. All right. Van Damme, Ben Stiller, Sean Penn, Orlando Bloom, Angelina Jolie. For some reason, our tax money has been funding politicians to have nice photo ops with Zelenskyy. Like, this is propaganda to artificially make you like the guy. Now, I don't even hate Zelenskyy. I'll be honest. I don't hate him. Obviously, I don't know him. I don't hate him. I don't have any of this shit. Literally, I don't have any heart. I think that Ukraine is the victim here in this entire situation. But it is absolutely mind-boggling that you literally, unironically, have the American government spending money to make you artificially like Ukraine better so they could have an excuse to spend money on Ukraine. It is insane. I don't like him. He's done a lot of evil shit. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and make some sort of moral judgment because I don't know him. I hear he has a 4% approval rating. Very unlikable. Small penis. Tiny cock, from what I've heard. All of his ex-girlfriends, they keep talking about how small his penis is. That's crazy. I don't know if it's true. I haven't seen it myself. But from what I understand, it's very tiny. Very small and very pathetic little penis he has. I wouldn't want a man with a penis that pathetic and small to run my country, but hey, I didn't vote. Neither did anyone else. He keeps canceling elections, probably because of his baby dick. That's what Trump probably said. Definitely subscribe for more incredible, hard-hitting analysis and factually calling retards to people where they deserve it. Public shaming. Make public shaming great again. Mapsquiga is what we call the movement. Thank you for being here. And remember to stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.